Hey guys, how's it going? Just coming at you with another video here. Uh, and this video is because, like most other videos, it's kind of off the cuff, and I just kind of want to talk a little bit. And what do I want to talk about exactly? Well, I guess it has something to do with the fact that, well, as of now, uh, Joe Biden's inauguration happened, and as of now, he is uh, certified 46th president of the United States. So I guess I just kind of want to talk about things, I guess, and I'm just kind of using that as a bit of a jumping off point, I guess, just to talk about maybe uh, Joe Biden a little bit, maybe last 4 years of Trump and all that. So, and I guess before I really kind of get start off on anything, you know, here I am. Here I am. Anyway, what I'm about to, anything I'm about to say, I don't mean to sound like I'm voter shaming or anything like that. That I'm saying that as much to my audience, to the extent I even have any. I'm saying that as much to them as I am to myself. Because one thing, I don't believe in voter shaming, and I try to be always conscious about it. And or that's not my intention to do so when I say things. Um, and so, and I say that in part because I've been accused of being a liar and a hypocrite, and when it comes to politics and like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and all that. So you know, hypocrite. Maybe I'm not proud of that, but you might have a point on me being a hypocrite because I'm at least aware of my own hypocrisy, or at least I try to be. A liar, I am not. So yeah, so like I said, I don't mean to voter shame for when let's say what I'm about to say. So there's that, and whatever I say in this video, I know I may have said somewhat sentiments in the past, so I'm sorry if I sound redundant. No, for what I'm going to say in this video here. So, and I guess with that said, to just get started, shall we? So, as of now, today is January 22nd. At least here in my time zone, it is because here in the U.S. I'm on the East Coast. And as of yesterday, the 20th, it's after 2 o'clock in the morning. Um, as of yesterday, 20th, Joe Biden has been sworn in. Did I watch the inauguration? Yeah, to the extent that I did, I saw him get sworn in. I saw him give his inaugural speech. It was more so using as background. It was just to say I saw it. But I was kind of doing a little bit of live tweeting about it on Twitter. So yeah, I did experience it to some extent. And I guess when it comes to love and unity and all that, I mean, as far as policy is concerned, I want to see that love and unity translated into actual things that will help people. And of course, that I also have to say, like, unless we actually see things happen, policy wise, it's like shut up with the the platitudes. Just stop. So yeah, and of course, there's that. And of course, I didn't get to see Kamala get sworn in. So I guess how do I feel about that? I mean, symbolically, it's kind of cool that we got our first woman VP, and she's of Black and Asian descent. She's Jamaican Indian, so that's symbolically that's pretty cool. In well, that and I don't deny that, and especially since there are those who, especially for young women, especially for young women. Excuse me, I can't stutter or something. Um, and now they've got something to look up to. Hey, we can achieve greatness. Awesome. So, but however, I'm not thrilled with it being Kamala Harris of people, only because he doesn't have that big good track record. Like whether it be locking people up with and then blocking evidence, exonerating them, um, um, pretending to be in favor of Medicare for all and only to back off of it when given a little bit of pressure. You know, like another thing she's done was um, she did not prosecute Steve Mnuchin from Goldman Sachs. Why? Because she was taking donations from him. Who do you think was Treasury Secretary? Yeah, because even after her team told her get rid of this guy, do something about it, do do something about him. He didn't do it. There's that, and I understand, right? I think she also put transgender women in um in men's and then I think it had to do with something with transgender women or whatever, putting it putting the women in the men's section in jail or something like that. I don't know. I know it had something to do with that. So for someone who might claim to be for LGBT rights, on that alone, it's like, yeah, are you sure? I don't know. I'm sure she is, but even then, that's a bit of a block on the record. So, but yeah, not the best politician. So, so symbolically, a woman VP, awesome, but track record, not the best. So, but yeah, so and Biden himself is basically a moderate Republican. Because prime example, 94 crime bill, voted for the Iraq War. Pretty sure he voted for the Patriot Act, which takes away your Fourth Amendment rights. Thanks, George W. Bush. So um, sorry about that. There. Anyway, well, yeah, there's that. Um, those are just some examples of him being like the greatest. Now, are there some areas where he's better than Trump? Of course he is. He at least believes in climate change, for one. One of the first things he did is through executive order, is trying to get us back into the Paris Climate Accord, which is awesome. You know, climate change is one of the reasons why I voted for him, and the fact that he's at least doing something about it, I'll take. I'm glad to hear that. Not to mention he's, I think, um, rescinding us from the Dakota Access Pipeline. Awesome. So, so I wish he'd go further and do the Green New Deal, and I wish he would ban fracking too. But at least taking us a step in the right direction. And you know what? For what's worth, I will take it. So, well, yeah. But there's some of my thoughts on that. With Trump, I understand on some level why some people voted for him. I mean, he did pretend to be this outsider. Fuck the establishment. I'm a fight vote little guy. Um, he pretended like he was some sort of economic populist. So for anybody who voted for him, for those reasons, like fuck these trade deals, I'm gonna protect your benefits. I'm not gonna outsource. I'm gonna bring your jobs back, stuff like that. If you voted for those reasons, especially if you happen to live in the Rust Belt, where some of those trade deals did uh, affected those people the most, I got you. You know, I can understand your logic, and for that, your attention to pure. You know, and I've got nothing against you for voting. him for that reason. But when it comes to the you voted for the racism and the xenophobia and the bigotry, or because he makes me feel good, the feeling of a fact, as in like, oh, I'm watching a TV show and I found my favorite character. It's like, are you serious, dude? So, so I mean, and as president, I know that when these repeated rallies and all that, um, I know he always repeats the same talking points over and over again. Populism. I mean, to his credit, he never stopped campaigning, even when he was president. Always throwing red meat to his face, always keeping in touch with them. Hey, he's had that locked down to a T. That's something Democrats don't even bother to remember. Like Hillary Clinton kept spitting in the eyes of her base, and no, you probably wonder why she lost. Trump and his base, and the Republicans at large, they got that down big time. Don't abandon your base, and Trump never did that. And it's like, hey, I have to give him some grudging respect for that one. Yeah, okay, he did. He'll never get succeeded where Hillary Clinton failed. So, but of course, we know that he's just lying to you. Did he do any of these populist things? Uh, Not a whole lot of them. I mean, like, as I understand, the 2017 tax bill, for example, 83% of its benefits went to the top 1%. And if you're a little guy or somehow benefiting from it, awesome. Getting some of those benefits, to the extent that you got any, but it's great. But then again, I've also heard that, like, it's only temporary or something like that. I don't know, but just you know, that's not populist. That's just giving the establishment what they want. You know, he seemingly pulled out the TPP, but then in his renegotiations of NAFTA, was putting in the worst provisions of TPP. So you know, um, there's all that. It ends like he's anti-war, but no, he keeps uh, wars going. Okay, sure. He didn't. I guess technically it's true that he didn't start any new wars, but he continued the existing ones because Obama, when he took office, we already took we were already in two wars, Iraq and Afghanistan. By the time he left office, he there were already seven wars. We're bombing countries like Somalia, Libya, I think Iran or something. I don't know. Just I think Syria for certain. We added more countries to our list of ones that were bombing. So when Trump, he, as I understand, he had one more, and that was Niger. So with Obama, his kill list when it comes to drone strikes are roughly 90% the wrong people. One of which was a 16-year-old American boy who did nothing wrong, but yeah, he got destroyed. Trump, um, yeah, continued all that, but continued drone strikes. At the very least, 432%. You know, it withdrew from the Iran deal, assassinated an Iranian general, General Soleimani. You know, had warhawks. It was littered throughout his administration, namely Mike Pompeo and John Bolton. John fucking Bolton, one of the main architects of the Iraq War. So this man is not anti-war, not the least bit. Oh, and another thing, true is for certain terms was faux populism. We know that Obama towards 87,000 jobs. Trump 93,000. So But anyway, so this Trump, he's not anti-war. He's not a populist. You know, know, you could say that Mitt Romney was basically a real life Thurston Howell the third. Trump is basically this, in a similar ballpark, except the difference, however, is that he's got the mean tweets. He's a ruffian. He has he has no he doesn't have the veneer um of like respectability. It's not polite and kind, and that's and it's easy to deify candidates who are actually polite and respectful. You know what I mean? Trump was none of that. And with me, I don't care about the whole personality aspect. Uh, do, as long as you actually get some shit done, at least give us some halfway decent uh, policies. You know what I mean? So yeah. So, but just and I mean, say that for those who might think, oh, we should run our United States as a business. We had a businessman and as president for 4 years. How do you think that turned out? Not very well. I mean, if even if we did run the country like a business, hopefully it would be done right. But just the idea that we had a businessman run. Excuse me, I stuttered something. I apologize. Um, the fact that we had a businessman run the country for 4 years and it was an abject failure, maybe running the country as a business, yeah, maybe not. We shouldn't do it like that. I don't know how we should do it, but maybe not as a business. So I mean, especially since guys like Trump, he went bankrupt at least 6 fucking times. And you think that guy's a successful businessman? He's a brilliant marketer. What he is, a brilliant marketer. Therefore, it's easy to buy into that image when he's like I said, an abject failure. And his dad bailed him out plenty of times. So, um, but yeah, so so there's that. So but going back to 2016, I can understand maybe on some level why you may have voted for him. I always with the populist rhetoric, but now that he's in office, I mean, the man is a corrupt, amoral goon. I don't understand how, like, I mean, when you look at him, it's like, oh, he's a good person. How? How is he? I don't get it. I mean, when he keeps showing his cards over and over again, I think the only thing is that maybe he's just a case of like, oh, he makes me feel good. He's my favorite character in the TV show. So this is one of those things that it's just baffling how people don't see reality, not just in politics, but just in general. They act like things aren't actually the things, facts rather. So I think it's probably safe to say that in the middle of this pandemic, um, that were not for that, he probably would have put on re-election, possibly. But if Bernie Sanders had been the nominee, it would have been a cakewalk. Trump would probably have to fight twice, three, 4 times as harder if we're up him against Bernie. Because Bernie, he's got the track record to prove it. He's been insanely consistent his whole career. So, and credit to him for all that. So, he's hell. Even Trump kind of was admitted once that essentially I'm scared of Bernie. There's some audio dating back, I think, at least 2018. He was talking to some people. He said, "I'm glad Hillary Clinton did not choose Bernie uh, as her VP. He's I'm pretty bad at trade. He's better than I am. So which goes to show that he's scared of Bernie. That's why you don't hear him criticizing the man as much. So And speaking of Bernie Sanders, what happened to him back both in 2016 and 2020? They did him dirty. They really fucking did. Now, 2016, the DNC fucked him over. We can think, you know, what's her name? Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She's partly to blame as to why we got President Donald Trump. So fuck that woman. So the DNC at that time was basically an extension of the um, of the um, of her campaign, and we can thank Julian Assange for leaking WikiLeaks and showing all that. Thank you, Julian Assange. Which, by the way, he needs to be on time. What am I saying? He needs to be pardoned. Hopefully, he does. But anyway, Bugs said it hit him dirty back in 2016. 2020, same fucking thing. When it comes to Bloody Monday and Super Tuesday, Obama made a few phone calls to who? Mayor Pete, Amy Klobuchar. He was like, "Hey y'all, why don't you drop out?" Like, okay, cool, no problem. Whereas Kamala Harris, who had rightfully rose from the dead and endorsed Biden, bet on my store, Beto or you know, he did the same thing, endorsed Biden. They all ganged up on him. Why? Obama made a few phone calls. He basically shipped Bernie back, and within a month, I'm dropping out. The quote Orson Krennic from Rogue One: "We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close." And then Obama, that uh, that neoliberal centrist, that man, he did not only Bernie dirty, but us dirty too, the American people. And now we're stuck with basically a modern Republican in Joe Biden. That's the one thing that's I find most disappointing. It should have been Bernie. Now, granted, strategically, he made mistakes. He should have, and to the extent that victory for him was still gettable, he should have been tougher on Biden. But instead, he was like, "Hey, he's my friend. He's my friend. He's my friend. He can beat Trump." Luckily, he did. But well, because he kept on doing that, my friend, my friend, my friend. He can, you know, he can defeat Trump. His personal friendship with Biden, he was blinded by that. He couldn't see straight. And when Bernie actually dropped out, he didn't get any concessions out of Bern. Uh, Biden did not get any concessions. What am I saying? Bernie did not get any concessions out of Biden. You know, instead he was rather meekly like, "Hey guys, could you meet me do something, a few things because I want you to? Because well, I don't know, I kind of want you to." Bernie, you should have used your leverage, my dude. Come on. So and because he didn't do that, they basically use him as a tool, a weapon. And then once they were done with him, they just boom, got rid of him. They used him for what he was worth, and then after that, boom, he's done. So he made mistakes, no doubt about it. All that being said, however, it should have been him. It should have been Bernie Sanders. If he had been the one to be, if he was being sworn in yesterday, I can guarantee you, he'd still be saying the same things he's always been saying. Medicare for all, tuition-free college, living wage, Green New Deal, hopefully UBI, if that was him up there. Ending the wars, bringing the troops home, $15 minimum wage. I can guarantee you he would be up on that stage saying his exact the same things as he's always been fucking saying. But no, they fucked him over. So 2024 comes around, Nina Turner's running for Congress. If she runs for president, it'd be cool to have her potentially run for president. He or she's pretty good, and I could see myself voting for her. That's assuming my politics uh, at a few years from now are the same as they are right now. So, oh hell, we got the midterms next year, 2022. If if that was a presidential election, the midterms, if we were to elect a president every 2 years instead of four, and Nina Turner threw her hat in the ring, I'd probably vote for her. Yeah, totally. And that's assuming she doesn't. That's assuming she gets the nomination, and they don't do her dirty like they did Bernie. So yeah, like I said, yeah, if she runs for president and she actually gets the nomination, then yeah, I'd probably vote for her. And hell, so just yeah, so so I guess with all that, so and now with Biden, you know, like I said, the man's a moderate Republican, got a bad track record. That being said, are there areas where he's better than Trump? Yes, he actually believes in climate change. For one thing, he said he would get us back into the Paris Climate Accord, which apparently he's in the process of doing right now. Awesome, I'm all for that. Again, I wish to do the Green New Deal, but hey, I'll take a victory where I can get it. He probably would. I think he's indicated he wants to get back into the Iran deal because, which, to be fair, one of as I understand, one of Obama's better policies. You know, and if he does that, awesome. That's to the extent that I agree with him on farm. I'm all for it. I want to take us uh, a step in the right direction in terms of all that. And hell, the Iran deal is one of the reasons why I voted for him. Another reason, I should say. Um, Now, in terms of healthcare, doesn't support Medicare for all. He even said that, hey, if I'm president, is right in front of my desk, I'm gonna slap it down. You know, when I voted for Biden, healthcare was one of the reasons why I voted for him. Now I'm a Medicare for all guy until we get that actual act in place. Single payer healthcare, single payer Medicare for all specifically. I'm sorry if I sound redundant with that. You know, until we could get that in place, I'd rather have people have some health care than none at all. So I know I've said this before and all that. So you know, when I voted for him, I tried to be as principled as I felt I could be. So, and for anyone who questions me, when I question me like, hey, I question your morals, I question your ethics, fuck off with that. I'm telling you why I did so. I was as principled as I could be. So don't you dare question my morals and why I voted for that for Biden. Yeah, he's corrupt, but and yeah, I guess you could say it was essentially a lesser of two evils vote, but I threw some policy in there as well. So I was trying to do so from as principled a position as humanly possible. So you're hearing it from me. I am not morally deficient for voting. I haven't voted for Biden. So so with Biden in place and all that, you may say like, oh yeah, he's a good man. He's kind, respectful, and all that. He's a good. Well, I mean, us regular people are still gonna have to wait a few more years for potentially the next person come along. That's actually, if not Bernie Sanders himself, then at least or at least someone like him. Because so I mean, it's easy to deify Biden because he's polite, respectful, and say, hey, if you're well off. and all that. So, well, all financial, I should say. Like, hey, he's not gonna raise my taxes by a pubic hair. So, so and for anybody who might have voted for Biden, myself included, who might have done so out of principle, I can respect that. They voted for a third party candidate, even though third parties can never make it in the White House. You know, even if you vote for a third party candidate out of principle, I can respect that too. And if you had some principle when it came to voting for Trump, I can respect. Even if we disagree, you know, I'm just kind of curious why. That's all. In voting for Trump in 2020. So because I mean, it's kind of funny how sometimes when you gang up, here, when you buck the trend a little bit, you get ganged up upon. Because when I say that, I mean like there's one guy named on Twitter named Ryan Knight. You know, um, he's pretty critical of the Democratic establishment. He used to be, I think, 2 years ago. He um I think and that was in the past election. I think he was initially Elizabeth Warren supporter, but then he switched to Bernie. So um he's a few years older than I am, I think, because I think he was old enough that he was able to vote for John Kerry back in 2004. So I know that when he was being more vocal in his stage for the Democratic establishment and the Democratic Party as a whole, and he was saying, "Hey, I'm not voting for Biden," he got shat upon. You know, he had guys like George K, um, um, Deanna Troy, from TNG. Um, yeah, I think her name is Marina Sirte. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. You kind of, yeah, she criticized him. Hell, what's his name? Bradley Whitford from The West Wing was crap on him too, and even went as far as trying to do a bit of a gotcha on him by using past tweets. As and I've heard some people say that he's being a grifter and all that. I hope he isn't. And if no, I'm not critical. Now, I'm not trying to criticize the guy, and that, and also Ryan, my boy. Uh, yeah, I'm not trying to criticize you if you happen to come across this video, and I'm not trying to like. Yeah, I understand. I'm not trying to shit on you. That's all I'm saying. So I mean, if he is being principled, and I assume that he is, and then then it's great to have another out. So you know, and I don't want to do the whole listen and believe thing. That's but but I can respect that when you reevaluate politics, you approach things from a place of principle. So that's it's much like how with Peter Dow. He was a he kept he was in the establishment for a while, or he I think he was one of those principled lefties, but then he kind of fell into the establishment for a while. But now he kind of woke back up. He woke up and he kind of realized where he was wrong. I do know that he worked for the Hillary Clinton campaign back in 2016, and he now understands. Yeah, I was in it for a while. Now I'm out. I can respect him too, for being as principled as he is. So so and I guess there are times you kind of have to go through hell and back to realize before you realize, oh wait, I'm wrong, or at least kind of have to experience things firsthand. You know what I mean? So I can respect Ryan Knight for being principled and all that, and Peter Dow. So yeah, so so it's just really kind of irritating how when you vote for someone or something other than what conventional wisdom says you could crap upon. I'd tell case in point, Deanna Troy. She quote tweeted someone and said, "Hey, if you don't vote for Biden and we get 4 more years of Trump, I'm going to blame people like you." You could not be more privileged when you say shit like that because hey, you're pretty well off financially. It's like and It's like, try being on try being a regular person. Just look at it through their point of view. You know, there's probably a reason why people voted were as supportive as Bernie Sanders as he was both times he ran, especially if he happened to be a two-time Bernie supporter. So it's like, are you fucking kidding me? When you say, I mean, you don't vote for this way, it's your fault. No, it's the establishment's fault. You know, Trump was not the problem. He's a problem, but not the problem. He was the end result of a broken system. That's exactly what he was. So, yeah, so just objectively speaking, Trump is not a good person. Biden, he might as well have been Hillary Clinton 2.0. To be fair, he did what Joe Biden did, what Hillary Clinton didn't do, beat Donald Trump. Because with Donald Trump, he was like the easiest candidate you could ever come up with. And Hillary Clinton, she was basically like, "Fuck off! I don't want to. Basically, I don't want to beat the guy. Basically, or because he was a gift wrapped in a bow tie, and Hillary Clinton gave that the middle finger. You know, and you know, because she was arrogant and entitled. Strategically, she was wrong too. She didn't convince anybody that she was a better candidate. She didn't do things like visit the Rust Belt like Trump did. Like that's what he did. He visited the Rust Belt. He did the all populist rhetoric shtick. He roared like a lion. Hillary Clinton, she took her voters for granted, and when she lost, she was she didn't fail her voters. Her voters failed her. That's what she thought. And she kept on writing book after book after book, saying, "Oh, blaming other people." She blamed Gary Johnson, Jill Stein, Bernie Sanders, Vladimir Putin. Sexism, emails, Bernie Bros. Who she didn't blame herself or the Democratic Party. How daft do you have to be to not get that? John McCain fucked off. Mitt Romney fucked off. Why couldn't she? I probably wouldn't be uh, surprised if she was just seething inside because Biden did what she didn't do. And if by some happenstance that Kamala gets in office, because some people are saying, "No, Biden's going to be is just a Trojan horse for her to get in." So we'll see about that. But and if Kamala does by happenstance get into office, then it's going to probably piss off Hillary even more because hey, we got because we got a woman president and it's not Hillary. So, so So, which is not funny. Speaking of Kamala Harris, she when Tulsi Gabbard handed her ass on a silver platter, and she's like, "Well, did top tier, not a top tier candidate like I am." Only she said all that, and then of course, she said all that talking to Anderson Cooper, and then she dropped out before Tulsi did. So, yeah, you kind of have to laugh at that. But now that Kamala is vice president, that kind of takes away some of the humor from that. So, never mind, I don't believe in really dancing. So, no. So, so just, but with Biden in office, as mentioned, it's probably safe to say that COVID was the tipping point for Trump. That's because how badly we bungled it. Had that we not done so, we probably would have gotten a season two of Trump. But so of course, even with or without the pandemic, had Bernie been the nominee, absolute cakewalk. And if in this scenario where Bernie was the nominee, I would have voted for him without a doubt. Bernie was my pick from day one, from the day he announced his campaign to the day he dropped out. He was my pick. And had he been the nominee, I would have voted for him probably with a smile on my face. Biden, it was a reluctant vote. I took no pleasure in doing it. But as mentioned, it was principle. So I don't need anybody to question my ethics or my principles or my morals. So, and speaking of this pandemic, I mean, it's really just kind of, like, uh, people are acting like, oh, it's taking my rights, my freedoms. No, wearing a cloth over your face, half your face rather, does not take away your freedom. It does not. This shouldn't have been a political issue, but it's a political fucking issue. Go with fudging the numbers, all that. Why are we wearing masks, bro? When I don't know if the numbers really are fudging, being fudged, but and then people are dying out there every single day, and even people who are living still, they're struggling to get by. You know, and you're worried, oh, well, I don't want to wear a mask, but it inconveniences me. Fuck off. You know, I should have the right. My choice to cough all over people and get them sick. I mean, how fucking selfish do you have to be that you're more worried about having to wear a cloth over my face and it inconveniences me? Like, when you get sick, oh, then I'm not sure you'll be singing the same tune, now will you? I mean, if you do get, I honestly hope you do get better. I mean, that's the extent of my sympathy. If you don't, it's like, and I mean, I hope you don't pass away. I hope you can get quickly soon. But those who are saying like, "Oh, I don't want to wear my mask," and somebody gets sick, don't worry about things until you get happens. It's almost like I don't I don't believe in gay marriage until a loved one is gay. I don't believe in COVID until it happens to me. You see how absurd that is? So just it's baffling how people act like facts aren't facts. So much like how people act like climate change doesn't exist. It fucking does. Hey, as Ben Shapiro says, facts don't care about your feelings, which that philosophy by itself is absolutely true. Facts don't care about your feelings, but people have this idea of like my feelings don't care about the facts, but are my feelings because how I feel. So now, then again, what do I know? I'm just some, I'm just some, I'm just some guppy here on YouTube just talking about who just talks to his camera, just talks about shit, and just talks about what he. Maybe I'm repeating bullshit talking points myself. I don't know. What do I guess as I just right. You know, I know it probably sounds like I'm like I believe in facts too, but just I don't know. It's just it's hard to respect. It's like when people when you hear people repeat bullshit like and thinking of the facts and thinking of bringing some kind of truth to it, but when in fact no, you're just repeating bullshit. I don't get it. I don't get how you could call yourself easily debunk bullshit. So I honestly don't get it. So so I guess just with all that said, really, I'm going to well almost 45 minutes. So I guess with all that said, I was me just kind of talking about current events, just kind of venting some of my frustrations and other expressing other thoughts about what goes on around me and all this world and all that. So all I can say is just I'm glad Trump's not over, and no fuck that. I'm glad Trump is out of office, but I'm not glad Biden's out. Because I'm just kind of curious, what is it about Trump that you like? That's all I mean, so I guess with all that said, just this is one of my longer videos, almost at a whopping pretty much 45 minutes. So for anybody who's stuck along this long, and for anybody who watches the entire length once this video is uploaded, thanks for watching. I guess with all that said, I'm probably gonna forget about a few things once I upload it. But I guess with all that said, just rate, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.